Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherwave.net and it is Monday the 18th of January. Thanks again for watching. Gary has your fast forecast with all the details of the coming couple of days. But one of the things that having an injury allows you to do, is it an injury? No, not really. I just had an operation on my leg. So one of the things that being semi-incapacitated, I suppose, is that the right phrase? For a while does. It allows you to kind of meander around the web, looking at various different charts, looking at data, looking at the data and seeing how it ties in with how the forecast has progressed so far and where it's going. And just catch up with a few things that may have slipped over the last few weeks with all the flooding around. This was quite an interesting one. This is the prediction from the JMA of El Nino as we head through the rest of the winter and into the spring. And this is the peak of the event that's just gone past, but look how quickly it falls off. These yellow boxes here show the upper and lower extremes of the ensemble run of the model with the JMA, and you take a mean of those positions and you notice how that mean gets us into negative El Nino conditions probably sometime through July. So having had this peak of El Nino, suddenly it is going to be cooling off. Now that change in temperature is not unusual, but the rapidness of the descent here is. So this will have an impact on the circulation patterns as we head into the spring, summer and winter of next year. The question really is how the climate models deal with such circumstances. Something else that the climate models have to deal with is solar activity and the impact of solar activity on the QBO, which is the quasi-biennial oscillation around the poles. This is cycle 24 sunspot activity, highlighted in here. This is the solid line, the mean of the line running through here. And notice how we are in relatively quiet activity levels at the moment. The sunspot activity forecast to fall to a minimum through this year, heading into the end of the cycle at around 2019. So relatively low activity. The sun itself is actually quiet, and we detail the sun as basically being quiet when these up and down lines here tend to go flatter, which as you can see here they have done recently. So we've got relatively low activity on the sun. Now, high up in the stratosphere, winds are doing this. We've got the years across the bottom of these charts, and then it's the bottom chart that we're interested in. We've got the red line here, which represents the anomaly of the wind at 30 HPA, and the blue line represents the anomaly of the wind at 50 HPA in the atmosphere. So you know that I talk about the 850s quite regularly. Well, this is up at 30 millibars and 50 millibars. These are the zonal winds. So the stronger the zonal wind is, then that implies that we've got a westerly QBO, and really that's what we're seeing up there just at the moment. We've got westerly biases in the QBO, the quasi-biennial oscillation. This is one of the factors we look for spells of colder weather. What you tend to find is that when those stratospheric winds are less zonal, so the easterlies kicking in, you tend to get cooler weather being able to find its way southwards off the pole. The grey colours on this chart, this is from the Free University of Berlin. These do things slightly differently. The years are across the bottom here, and then we've got the heights going up on the scale there. The grey colours indicate predominantly westerly flow, and you notice here at the end of 2015 we were in this grey area. So what you find is that the westerly winds propagate down from the upper atmosphere and come down towards the well, not surface, they come down into lower layers. So you tend to get this propagation of easterly winds, which is these winds in here. So where the white colours are tends to tell us that the easterly winds are in there, and what we're looking for when we look at these charts are those whiter colours within that zone. I notice that at the moment no sign of that easterly flow, predominantly westerly. I think what might happen is that we may find the QBO tending to weaken as we head towards the end of February into the early part of March. But then, of course, it's too late for winter. There's still this hint of something middle part of February, colder, and certainly with a weak stratospheric warming event that's taking place right now, or expected to take place in the next few days, you would look towards the middle part of February as a hit of cold. But at the moment, there's nothing on the chart that suggests February being desperately, desperately cold. So I just basically wanted to take this opportunity just to look at the QBO, look at the sunspots, because there's a correlation between the two, and just to see what that tells us about cooler weather coming up. I guess I'm just rambling on a little bit, really, but hey, hopefully you find it of interest as I did. Give me a chance to read upon several papers on the QBO and just get myself up to speed with it. But unfortunately, it doesn't signal anything particularly cold for us during the next month or so. Although, as I say, don't rule out the possibility of anything chilly. There will be something there, and certainly February looks to be a cooler month. I just don't think there's going to be any desperate hit lasting for more than 5 or 6 days. Okay, I will leave you with that for now, but whatever you do, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.